to use SprintBoot and Visual Studio Code together and develop SprintBoot applications from Visual Studio Code. So for that, first thing you need to do is you need to go to the Visual Studio marketplace and search for extension pack, and you see the SprintBoot extension pack from VMware. You need to install this. I've already installed this one, and then you need to install the extension pack for Java, which also I have already done. And the second step is you need to open a terminal and check if you have already installed Java in your system. So the command to do this is java on -- version. So you need to check your JDK version is 20. So this is the version that you need to use when you are trying to create the SprintBoot project. So let's try to do that. Type Ctrl+Shift+P on your computer. Well, something is not working here. Anyway, let's see. In Mac it is Command-Shift-P and then type boot initializer. Spring initializer, and then create a Gradle or Maven project. I'm going to choose Gradle, and I'm going to choose the first version that comes up, the Java as a language, and I'm going to choose thought experiment, but you can choose your own group ID and enter, and then demo project name, enter. I'm choosing jar, but you can choose whatever you want. My Java version is 20, so I'm going to choose 17, which is less than or equals to the Java version that I've installed in my machine. And then I am going to choose a bunch of dependencies for my Spring project. So first of all, I'll choose Lombok, and then I'll choose web, Spring web, and let me choose DevTools as well, and maybe MySQL just for the future. I'm not going to touch MySQL in this video, but I might in the future, so let me just install that. Okay, if you're happy with whatever you need, you can click enter, and you can also go to the Gradle file from the file system that is being generated and add any additional dependencies if you think that you forgot something over here. So I'm just gonna click enter, and it will ask for a space where you want to save the file or project. I'm gonna choose here new folder called demo and generate in this folder. Alright, so it will take some time to download the files. I think it interacts with the Spring Initializer server to pull the correct configurations and file system and everything. So yeah, it's taking some time. In the meantime, it lists some of the documentation and the things that you're going to use as a technology. For example, the SprintBoot plugin, OCI image, Spring Web. You can read a bunch of these things and try to understand what how they work and all those things. Okay, so the project is already created. You can see it has generated the build.gradle file where you have all the dependencies that you have selected, and you can add any additional dependency that you need in the future right over here, and it will pull it from the Maven repositories and install it in your local project so that it is ready to use. So for now I'm going to go to the Spring dashboard section, and it already has the project listed over here, and you can go here and you can click on run the project. So the project started on port 8080. So let me go to that port. Okay, localhost 8080. You can see it is returning something, but it is returning some issue because we don't have anything in our code that returns a response. So let's go to the project and let's create a Java file class. Let's call it hello world controller. So we need to make this as a controller, so I'll use a annotation called REST controller, and inside that I will create a getter method, get mapping. I'll put the path as default /. I'm gonna remove this because we don't need it for this example, and I'm going to say hello world, and I don't need this import as well. So you see that because I have selected the dev tools, it automatically refreshes every time I make a change in the project, and the change is ready to go and like readily compiled. So I just refresh this and you can see hello world. So yeah, this is how you can start using Visual Studio Code to develop Spring Boot applications. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to connect to the database and create service layers and have a fully ready application, and how to deploy it in our local servers. So stay connected.